Good morning, everyone. Y'all, I got to set the scene for you here because Spirit took me on an adventure this morning, and I fucking love adventures. So if you like adventures with Spirit, come on in. Y'all, there's quite a few signs and synchronicities in here. Spirit's taking me on some kind of deep dive here, and I kind of like it. I ain't even gonna lie. Anyhow, I got reminded of... Y'all, if it resonates with you, run with it. If it doesn't, just leave it. If it makes no sense to you or there's not things clicking and you're going, I can't fucking believe this, it's not meant for you. There are some signs and synchronicities in here, and I know I'm catching things from, I'm seeing it myself, so I'm like and I keep going here, and this is so eerie, it's freaky, and I love that. Someone is all into it, and I'm right there with you. Anyhow, let's get going. I was reminded of the old sitcom, That Girl. Now, y'all, I had to look it up this morning. I thought it was a movie. It was an old sitcom. And let's see, it aired from September 8th of 1966. Y'all, I'm reading from a laptop over here on the internet. To March 19th of 1971. Now, the title character, Anne Marie, 1:30 on my timer when I said that, an inspiring actress who moves from her hometown of Brewster, New York, to make it big in the Big Apple, 143. Now, let's continue. The next thing I was brought to was pink, the Rose Oracle in the color pink. So y'all, I, of course, go to look up the color pink. Y'all, I'm going to point out that I referenced this book, I believe, Yesterday's Collective. But notice as well that I actually pulled that rune, I think, yesterday. Maybe it was the collective before the rune that I pulled that showed this book. But also there was a recent collective where I pulled the Emperor. I'm also going to note that the Emperor is also representative of Aries. Now also the Wheel, the Pentagram as well. Now the color pink, when I go to look up 244 on my timer, when I go to look up the color pink in this book, it is on page 437, and it continues to 431, which goes to 8. Now, I was also taken to, I was reminded of celestial events. The full moon coming up, I believe, is April 1st or April 2nd. Now, I also looked that up in this book, and that took me, 321 on my timer when I paused. It took me to page 386 in reference to the full moons. Now, the April full moon shows on 387, but if you add the 386, I believe that goes to 8. If you flip to the previous page, it shows you, and what's that? That would be 16. Oh, anyhow, add them up. The numbers are 8. There was 8 in there. Anyhow, it takes me to this, but the page right next to it on page 384, Venus. Someone recently referenced a celestial event, and the number's 88. Anyhow, I'm also being shown again on the that sitcom, That Girl. The show reflected the changing roles of the American women at that time in the 1960 era. I don't want to say the word. I don't want to get, anyhow, one moment. Now, 450 on my timer. Now, up here on the notes in the description on the internet that describes this series, it says that in the 5th season, that the couple became engaged, but they never actually married in the storyline. The decision to leave the couple engaged at the end of the run was largely the idea of Thomas, y'all, and I'm quoting this. She did not want to send a message to young women that marriage was the ultimate goal for them. The reference to the changing of the system is what I'm referencing. Now, in Pink, the esoteric, one of the things that caught my attention was it's just not a mix of the red and white. It says it is a sacred blend of the passion and the purity, offering a unique vibration that connects the heart, the soul, and the spirit. Understanding the spiritual meaning of the color pink begins with turning into its energetic frequency, tuning in. Now, also, pink also stands for the symbolically as well for the divine feminine, and it is also associated with Kuan Yin and as well with Mary, Mother Mary. Now, one of the things it is known for is that loving, nurturing. Embracing this aspect of the pink color allows you to connect with more intuitive, gentle strength. It's about knowing that compassion and softness are not signs of weakness. You're nurturing self. You're telling self that it's okay to be wounded, to be broken, to be healed. Innocence it also represents that innocence, that childlike joy in nature. The art supplies journal, but it also mentions spiritual awakening through self-love. Now, y'all, I'm also getting references to a prophecy that was made. And I started researching this prophecy. And I was taken to the 37th surah of the Quran. Now, I don't know much about it myself. But I'm going to have to go further because there is a reference in there to the skies turning to a rose color at judgment. 8 on my timer when I set that judgment. So, someone has a lot of anxiety here. I say that, and we got a lot of anxiety. Let's see what our message is. And honestly, y'all, I have to find this prophecy. It says the surah is a powerful reminder of the consequences of disbelief and the rewards for faith. It serves as a guide for believers to live in accordance with the teachings. Now, but it also describes the days of judgment where the angels will be in rows, okay? 8:44 on my timer when I said that. But y'all, if y'all know anything about the prophecy they're referencing, please let me know. And I loved how those kind of crisscross there. Sabrosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning, and teaching. It came in the reverse. But I also noticed the triangle as well. Y'all, I also noticed the triangles on the cover of that book as well. And then we have the thorn, protection, boundaries, and clear communication. 919 on my timer. You have flipped these from the reverse into a positive. You transmuted all this. What was your crown of thorns? What others thought to chain you, to bind you, freed you. It's a beautiful crown, darling, and you wear it well. Hidden in plain sight for all to see. May you be blessed, darling. Blessed be.